We got a brand new episode of the Broad and Forever podcast here, coming at you around noon on Wednesday. Nice spring weather. It's been getting nicer out, hitting a high of 73 this weekend. Opening days rolling around. The vibes are good. I'm joined, as always, by my guy Zo. I'm Shamus Clancy here. Zo, what's up?
What's up, bro?
Chilling.
WooderGate.
WooderGate. So do you want to get into that right away?
I think we should.
Yeah. So quick recap. I don't know how you live I'm assuming we don't have many listeners outside the Delaware Valley, if any. So as a quick recap, just in case you've been living under a rock or you're not getting Ambler alerts every 5 seconds. So Sunday, it came out that there was a chemical spill in the river in the area and that it threatened the water supply.
It was at a Bucks County facility. Yeah.
Bucks County facility. And that tap water might not be safe to drink, which is bad on its own. But then there was carryover. I don't think people are really understanding, like, oh, just water. Like, you don't even. I saw someone be like, people don't even drink that much water to begin with. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, it's brushing your teeth. It's making coffee. It's cooking.
Taking a shower.
Taking a shower. It's beyond just drinking freaking, Coca-Cola all day instead of water. First, I did want to say this real quick. I have it written this way in the podcast description. Do you think water, actually isn't the way we say it? I think it's WARTER. I think that's how I say it more so than wood or.
Yeah, I think that water is more of a joke. I say water. I
add the R. Yeah.
Yeah, I add the R to it. So I think that there is still an old guard that actually says water. I had a doctor's appointment this morning, and the awesome doctor literally said water. He was straight up WOODER. But he was an older guy, so like I'm saying, it's an old guard that I feel like actually says water. But I still say I say water.
I would be in college sometimes around some people that weren't from the Philadelphia area. Or if I'm at a nice restaurant, I will go out of my way to say it a different way. And then I actually don't even pronounce it the right way.
Yeah.
They don't even, if I just said water, they would know what I was talking. I'd be like, can I have a water? And they're like, excuse me, water?
Why are you saying it like that? Right.
Yeah.
I remember, I went to, I was up in North Jersey once with some friends.
Shout out to Tony Soprano.
Shout out to the program, Meadow, the whole family. And the same thing. I was asking, I was like, I ordered my drink, and I was like, can I have water as well? And they were like, oh, it's that Philly accent again. And I was like, what the fuck? You don't even know you're saying it. That's how it's not even an accent anymore. It's just the way I pronounce it.
Yeah, I've kind of lost track of the proper English. I don't think I ever told this story on this podcast. I've discussed it maybe, I don't know, in an older podcast or written. When I was in college, obviously kind of the stereotypical Philly kid in the school and everything like that, and gravitate to other kids that were from the city. This is fine. We're bullshitting here. We can get back to water eventually. It kind of relates to it all. The Philliness, the outsider view of it being a little trashy, whatever. So two of my closest friends in college were city kids. They both went to Roman Catholic.
Yeah.
One was from East Falls and one was from Kensington. So, prime Philly people, from South Philly myself, obviously. And the kid who was from Kensington was, at the time, dating a girl who was, I guess, had a job or research assistant position in the linguistics department.
Yeah.
At Penn. World-renowned linguistics department, like Noam Chomsky, all that type of shit. And they were doing a project, the professor she was working with, on Philadelphia dialects and accents and all of those things. So she asked him, hey, would your two nitwit friends want to get interviewed along with you? Yeah. We could just, we'll ask you some questions about your background and history, but we're going to record it and hear your dialect and how you talk about your experiences and all that. So then I'm just, it wasn't they weren't it wasn't an NFL combine, drive-by. They were hammering me on questions. It was like, oh, where's your background? what was it like growing up in the city? Like nothing crazy, but
yeah.
I'm speaking in my normal tone.
Right.
And then I said, I wish you would have done this like the week after spring break, after I had been home for a week, because I would have the accent would have been fully back or close to normal levels. And then a couple of weeks later, I'm talking to the girl. I was like, "Hey, what happened with the project or whatever?" And she was like, "The professor thought like once he heard the tapes, he thought this was the greatest thing ever. like he just made this incredible new discovery." And then they broke up or whatever. And a couple of years later, I'm just scrolling online and I found an article on Slate, like the online website.
The website, yeah.
And the article was about the professor's research into the Philadelphia thing. I'm like, this article is about me. I tried to find it. I couldn't find it. Like the last time I looked, maybe like a year or two ago.
Yeah. What again? I know
we're fascinating creatures, apparently.
Slate's probably the same, but I know some of those articles get archived really quickly too.
Yeah.
And they just like they disappear from the internet forever.
Yeah. So the Wooder situation. Back on Sundays, this is happening around what, like noon on Sunday, and that sounds about right when this stuff's breaking. And we start seeing, go
like noon on Sunday, and then like we have a family group chat, just like every family. My uncle texts the family group chat, and it's just like Instagram reels of people in the stores and stuff, like local stores. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like people were coming in the store. My two little cousins work at Target on Washington Ave, Washington and Broad. And they were like, the line was around the corner at 2:00, which is people with just carts and carts of water. They were out of water probably, I think, in like an hour and a half. Like it was absolutely insane. Just pure mayhem for a good like 6 hours.
So that breaks at noon or whatever. I get the push notification that everyone got a little bit after. And then, I'm in the apartment with Ashley. We went to the movies later in the day, but we were like, hey, maybe we should go out and try to grab some water. There's a CVS a block and a half away. Get out of the apartment building. It was like the first scene of the movie was like in the middle of the plot. Like two people walking each way down the street holding 2 cases. At the corner, someone's at the bus stop with 3 cases. I'm like, what the fuck? So we're walking down the street to the CVS, and all we see are people coming back from the CVS with the water. And I'm looking at her. I'm like, I'm being dead fucking serious. Be prepared for someone in there to be insane or even violent over this shit. Like it might be insane in there. We're walking there. I'm like, I don't even know there's any fucking water left.
Right. So
we get in there, and all like the normal cases of water are gone. Like your typical 24 and 30 packs of Poland Spring or whatever. They go into, and it's not a huge CVS or whatever. So I go into one aisle, and there are like 3 or 4, 6 or 8 packs left of like the fancy fucking water. And there are just a couple of yuppies staring at it. And I just kind of walk in because I think they were like, I don't know which one I should get or should I get. And I just was like, nope, hand her one, have 3 in my hand, went up there. And we're in line behind this person who had a card at CVS. If you have a card at CVS to begin with, you're shopping at the wrong fucking place. Fuck you. This person had 7 30 packs of water in there.
Nah, that's gotta be right.
And they're selling them. They're not actually bringing those home for the kids or the husband or the wife or whatever. They're selling those.
210 bottles of water. Nobody in their fucking right mind is that hydrated.
No.
730 packs. Yeah, like you said, they're going to go somewhere and sell them. And I'm sure they got whatever. If it was like, $15 a case, I'm sure they sold it for 30 to somebody. Like ridiculous.
And when we get back to the apartment, I put the water down, and I'm thinking, I don't know, this could go on for a week. I have no idea. So I buy some water on Amazon, and they only have the fancy friggin' water again. I bought a 24 pack of Fiji, like a Pensardi girl, and then I got a case of Liquid Death Mountain water. So I have all this, and then we go to Target and I buy one of those gigantic jars you would have if you made like iced tea or sangria for a party. Yeah, with the nozzle at the bottom. And I'm like, okay, so let's fill this up before the tap water goes bad.
Yeah.
And we'll put it in the bathroom where we could use it to brush our teeth and wash our face for the week. Like just trying to scheme up this. So I'm dropping like $100 on water and water related products this day.
That's smart.
And then the deadline for the water going bad keeps getting pushed back and pushed back.
Yeah.
And it's like the water is good until 11:59 p.m. I'm like, what the fuck happens at midnight when the like Cinderella, the shoe drops, like the dam breaks, all the fucking toxins go in the water. So I didn't really even understand that. Just kind of the city of Philadelphia's schematics and operations management that you would expect. And then we're recording this Wednesday, Tuesday night. I believe the notification came out the water's fine.
Yeah.
And then another one came out this morning that it's good until like tomorrow.
Yes, Tuesday night it was. First it was Tuesday at midnight. Then it was Wednesday at 3:30. And then everybody's like, well, what's the difference between midnight and 3:30? Like, what's changing between that? And so I think the latest message we got was it's good until tomorrow at some time. They're just going to keep pushing it back.
Yeah, like a COVID thing. Like, oh, well, we're rolled back, shut down for another 2 weeks. So you're not causing insane hysteria.
Right. We're shutting down another 2 weeks. Everybody go back home. We'll see you in blah, blah, blah. Like they have, the restaurants are making jokes about, they're getting their order from Jersey. They're having to fill up.
We've stooped so low.
Yeah, we've stooped so low. And they're back taking pictures of water and just like stocking it for same reasons for drinking, when customers ask for it, stuff like that. Like just an absolute mess this week, man. Like this city is never a dull time in this city.
So I usually drink tap water. I don't give a shit. Like it's fine. I grew up drinking it. I drink it all the time. I don't do the Brita filter thing. Whatever. But now I have all this expensive fucking water here that I barely even drink. And I'm like, well, it could be nice like to have like a bunch of Fiji water bottles and you crush those. Or I have Smart Water. I have the pH one with like the fucking, what is it? Like electrolytes or alkaline or whatever in there.
I got the ion charge.
Yeah. I'm a fucking battery now.
Yeah, this is my ion charge action, the official water of the Spartan race. It's got 9.5 pH, blah blah blah, all that other good shit. Yeah, that's the one I have.
Yeah, and now I don't know if I'm supposed to drink it or like in 48 hours I need to use it to brush my fucking teeth or make coffee.
Right. It's like it's a nice catch. It's a nice game of chicken. Like, do I use it now or do I just wait another 6 hours because I might need it to wash my face?
Yeah, I mean, walking down the street drinking a bottle of Fiji water, you're gonna look pretty fucking cool.
I know.
You look sceney.
Bring
back those Penn vibes.
The scene out of Old City.
I had a couple of people. They made the joke earlier. A couple of people on my floor in college. There was somehow a girl in my freshman hall asked me if I could I guess we were drinking in my room or whatever. Like I asked for a cup of water and I gave her water just from the fucking tap. And she was like, "Wait, where did you get this water?" And I was like, "Where the fuck did you think I get this water from the tap?" Oh my god, you would have thought I was like fucking put cyanide pills in her water.
That's god. It's funny. It's like I look at it and I imagine like the when COVID hit, it was the hysteria was, well, you gotta keep clean, you gotta keep sanitized, and it's like people were buying shit and not going anywhere though. Like people were just buying shit to re-sanitize the same surfaces they re-sanitized. Like well, you've been in a house, you don't have anything, like you haven't gone out, no one's come in. It's like, why are you sanitizing the table every night, just wasting shit? Like it's like that kind of like that mentality is back really quickly.
That's why I hopped on the Amazon purchase immediately.
Yeah.
I assume Amazon prices are national. I don't know if they change based on locale. I figured in that hour, the majority of Amazon water sales in the country were coming from the Philadelphia area, I would think. So I wanted to buy a case for $16, $20, whatever it was, before it was $74 on there.
That's a good point. I would probably. I'm gonna say I agree with you. I do think the prices are national, and then they get drilled down according to locale. Like I'm sure, obviously they pay it. Like they have people in that company that pay attention to this kind of stuff. So
Sure.
I'm sure whoever their Philadelphia or like Delaware Valley or East Coast guy is has already alerted the team like, oh, there's a water crisis in Philly. Let's make sure we're pricing accordingly now. Type shit.
What was I gonna say? Fuck. I lost it. That always happens. Where do we go from here with the water situation? I want my tap water back.
I think it'll be back soon. I think the water will be back soon. So what happens first? Do we get the all clear in the water, or does Jalen Hurts get a new contract?
I love that. I say the water.
That's a good one. I say the water too. I know like it's a good segue too. But like I know people are. I know there's a lot of rumblings because Lamar asked for a trade, and people are like, is he waiting to see what Lamar does, or is he just waiting for Howie to handle what he needs to handle, or is he just playing hardball? I don't think it has to be one answer. I think it can be a mixture of everything. I mean, the guy has an agent who's really, really smart. I'm sure she has been surveying the landscape the same way that we all have, and I'm sure that they've been cordial to Howie during these negotiations. But I'm sure that they're just not going to sign the first thing, or they haven't. I'm sure an offer's already been made, and they've been like, all right, so like this is where we start from, type stuff, and then we won't know that. Like we won't know that part of it. I don't even know that part of it, but I'm sure they already have like their baseline, and they're like, all right, well, let's work up from here, see what happens.
Yeah, Howie and Jeff Lurie spoke at the owners' meeting the last couple of days, and they weren't playing hardball through the media, nor should they, given the way Jalen played all year and how he played in the fucking Super Bowl and everyone else let him down. They seem like, hey, we're getting this contract. We want to do it. Lurie loves him. Someone asked, I don't know what reporter, credit to them, how this contract would compare or will compare to the quarterback contracts, the huge ones the Eagles have handed out the past. And he was like, this one isn't like the Donovan one. He was like, it's not the Carson one. That was a unique. He said that was a unique situation. Right. I'm like, you fucking think?
No shit, my dude.
Based on no inside information, just the vibes I get, the understanding of the team, the way they value Jalen, the way they want to continue to make him this franchise linchpin, not just for what he's doing on the field, but how he handles himself off the field, in the weight room, in the locker room, all of those things. I would guess before the NFL draft, which is 28, 27 days away, Jalen Hurts will have a new long-term contract in Philadelphia. I don't know if it'll be fully guaranteed. I don't know if he's going to get a 3-year deal. If I was him, I would push for the shortest deal possible. I would try to get, 3 years, 140 mil guaranteed or something like that, and hit free agency. And then hit free agency again while you're still in your prime. If I'm the Eagles, I want to lock him down for 7 years in comparison there. But I expect this won't be – the Eagles aren't a messy franchise. Nah. They don't conduct their business through the media. They love this guy. They love what he stands for. There's no more beloved figure in this city sports scene than him, and that's considering Joel Embiid's presence as a multiple-time MVP runner-up, and probably for the third straight year MVP runner-up this year. Bryce Harper with his playoff heroics. The Eagles are a different animal in this town, and having a quarterback who's elite, who is personable, who's a great leader, who says everything possible to rile up the fan base in the best possible way, they're not going to make a mistake with him.
Nah, they shouldn't. They shouldn't play with it. They won't. I know they won't play with it. You also, I think, with this contract, like I was saying, it's the Laramie Tunsil idea, right? Like he's on his third max contract because he took 2 and 3 year contracts with guaranteed money, and like he's a guy in his prime who is coming up on his third, quote unquote, like big money contract, right?
That gas mask has paid off well.
Right, the gas mask has paid off very well. I still think it was his stepdad that did that, by the way. But neither here nor
What's
there.
your theory?
I think his stepdad is the one who leaked it to like the ESPNs and the Schefters and stuff like that.
Did they have beef, or just to get him out of some shitty team they
So
want to play?
there was talk that his stepdad had sued him like days leading up to the draft, or like presented him with papers for court like days leading up to it. I genuinely think that his stepdad wanted, had dreams of being some kind of agent, and he's like, I'm gonna be your agent. He's like, nah, you're not gonna be my agent.
I'm not going to Lamar.
Yeah, no, and like, how people get like,
Yeah.
oh, well, I'm suing you for all the times I drove you to practice and shit, like, but I think that I do think that his stepdad is or had some culpability for sure.
Okay.
And I think, but again, circling back to Jalen, I think it's a no brainer. I think he's a guy one that, when you bet that kind of money on him, you're also betting that he's going to continue to progress and get better, which I think is great. I think you talk about, the three horses in this city, him and Joe and Bryce, and like when you
and
bet,
Morgan Frost with the Flyers,
right? Morgan Frost with the Flyers, shout out to him. When you give those guys those kind of contracts, you bet on them to continue to perfect their craft and get better. And like, yes, Bryce Harper has won an MVP. Joel Embiid is on year number 3 of a consecutive, MVP campaign. Jalen Hurts was 1 or 2, depending on who you ask, in the MVP race this entire year. So yeah, I think that you take that bet, and he's that kind of guy. Those are guys who you bet big money on, and they have continued so far to show improve. So I think that it will get done. My guess is also as good as yours. I do think it'll happen either draft week or probably before draft week.
Howie and Jeff don't want to be at the press conference introducing Nolan Smith or Jalen Carter, or any of these players. And the third question they get is about Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, it's about Jalen.
They don't want that. They do not want that, and nor should they.
That's not gonna. Nah, I don't think it's gonna. I think that they're smart enough to not want to have to deal with that. Also, you don't want to take away from those guys either. Like, you don't want to take away from any of those guys and what they're here for. But like, you have to know the optics are going to be all right. Well, it's day 2 of the NFL draft. Jalen's not signed. Are you guys coming close? I'd sooner think that they'll squash all that stuff and just be like, yeah, and let's get it done, 10 days before draft day or whatever.
It's wild that Deshaun Watson, of all fucking people, his contract completely destroyed and reworked. I mean, like, we don't need to rehash that. I mean, it's fucking disgusting to me that, and like, I think every NFL contract should be guaranteed. It's the way in the other 3 major sports in this country, and it's the sport where you're putting literally your life on the line most. You're having the shortest career. You're having the most physical issues, the most grueling of the sports. And for a guy to finally get that type of contract, or quarterback to get that kind of contract, is him.
Yeah,
I think that's hideous.
Yeah,
but at the same time, if that was the stand, that's all Jalen was taking, or he's going to hit franchise tag mode next year, I would give it to him. Yeah. I mean, it's just a shame that he's the guy that set that, and I'm sure every other front office ownership group was like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, well, I think we talked about that. We talked about that maybe last time, like, for it to be Deshaun Watson that literally tanked the market and turned it upside down.
Like, Mahomes didn't even get that.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And Mahomes' deal is for literally $500 million almost.
He's underpaid. He's already at what was it, like 10 years?
Yeah,
400, 300 million. That's not enough for her.
The guy's fucking criminally underpaid now. So that, I mean, the Hunts are like fucking great. Now we got to pay this dude again. Like that, there's no way you look at the Browns ownership as another owner and just not want to fight them every time you see them. Like, bro, you fucking ruined a lot of negotiations around this league in terms of the quarterback position and guys having to pay quarterbacks, because now every single conversation starts with, we want to meet Deshaun, or we want more in Deshaun. And like, Guys should get it. Strong, like I'm, everything else aside, like he has not been a producer in this league, the past couple of years. And if
It was terrible last year.
Right. He was fucking terrible. And if a guy like Jalen Hurts says, look, you got to meet me at Deshaun Watson. I mean, shit. I don't know. I don't know. I can't consummate that the Eagles would give it to him. But if he was like, this is where I want to be, I wouldn't be able to blame him for it.
The Eagles not trading, and we don't need to rehash this, but it's just what I'm thinking. Eagles not trading for him, which it seems, I know some people would doubt it, but from everything I heard, they, at minimum, I think it's more, but just if you want to be conservative and say it, kick the tires on the move.
Oh, I think we both know
it was a lot more than that, but I know some people are reticent, and I think at minimum you have to say they explored it because they explore everything.
Yeah, it was definitely more. We both, where I think we both know.
Yeah, it was more. He was just like, no.
Yeah.
No, I'm okay.
It was like, he was like, they were like, we want you, and he was like, no. That's really what happened. And, everybody moved on. But yeah, that was definitely going to happen.
But I wouldn't even want to have my job. I would have quit and done something else.
Yeah, like that.
I would just be doing social media for Wawa or something. I'm like, what am I going to do? Go there every day for the next 10 years and be like, I'm going to have to write it in every article I read about them. Deshaun Watson, still standing trial on X amount of civil lawsuits or whatever it is. Had a passer rating of -33, and the Eagles 33-13 lost to the Cowboys in Dallas.
Another day in life. Go Birds.
And just the caliber of person difference between him and Jalen. Again, we don't need to harp too much on the Deshaun shit. It's in the past. The Eagles have made out splendidly, but it just, man, like our lives would be so much different. And I think people talked about him being this uber talented player, this great guy, and he was. I don't know if he is still, but unbelievable college player early in his career, absolutely fucking electric.
Yeah, sure.
But I think back to that Super Bowl game. And the Eagles come back and, they blew it and then come back. And, I blame it on defense. And the offense was great.
Right.
Jalen was unbelievable. I would say besides Tom Brady, coincidentally, in the year the Eagles won, the second best performance I've ever seen from a guy on the losing team, which is great. You're the second runner up for the losing team. Like, fuck you, I would say that. But just being objective, like Tom Brady was fucking unbelievable. I was nervous that was going to be the year they give the award to a player from the losing team because he was that fucking good.
He was that word. Yeah, he was so good. He was absolutely terrific, man.
And then it was unbelievable.
We talk about it a lot, but man, was he good? He was so good. I hate that fumble for him because
it was so freaky. And then it's like, is it the Fields part of it a little bit too? And then they had the false snap, they had the false start the play before, and they had to run a different play, not the QB sneak.
And then AJ has said a lot this offseason, but
he likes to talk.
AJ does like to talk. And then him saying that they knew already that the field was gonna be fucked up, and it was fucked up when they went out there early in the season, play the Cardinals, and that kind of stuff. So field argument goes out the window, or I just feel like it was just a freaky play too. He just doesn't do that normally. You know what I mean? I just feel like there was just a play. It was such a bang bang play. Just you bounce a ball off your foot in basketball, or you balk at something in baseball. It's just such a bang bang play. Just shit. I can't believe I did that. I did that, but I can't believe I did it.
It speaks to how much he's liked here, how well he's liked in this city, as well as to how unbelievable he played every other moment of that game. That no one is blaming him for that loss for an insane play like that, or it was just a freaky play. Shit like that happens. And I think back to, has the rushing touchdown late in the fourth quarter, and then he, goes power left for the 2-point conversion and scores to tie it up at it was 35, right? They lost 38-35. So tied it up at 35 late. And when he got that 2-point conversion, I was like, obviously I'm a media member, but I'm obviously excited for the team. Of course. It is what it is.
I think it's also, you're right.
I just thought the guy, when he did that, I'm like, that guy might go into the fucking Hall of Fame. That was at that moment, I thought, not only could he just be a great quarterback, he could be a guy who's remembered in NFL fucking history.
Yep.
And if they won, it would have been. I mean, still could be, but he would have been entrenched immediately, etched in stone.
I think it goes to, the idea of also when that fumble happened, the fumble happened and they still had almost a whole half of football left, so like he still had time, he still worked his magic, and man, did they get so close. We don't have to rehash the Super Bowl, it fucking sucked, but he just did the stuff that he did. It's you have to be literally batshit crazy to not believe that they will at least have a fighting chance every single year to make it to the Super Bowl. Like I know regression happens, rosters happen. I mean, look at it now. This is gonna be a completely different roster next year. Outside of the core four and Jalen, their roster is gonna be really different. But I struggle to at least not believe that they won't be a perennial playoff team again. I think the next however long years he's here, you can figure it's the better half of 7 or 8. That I think that they'll be a playoff team, and I think for 3 of those years they'll at least make it to an NFC Championship game again.
Yeah, even if it's relatively a down year and they go 10-7 or 11-6 and win a weaker NFC East and just have one home playoff game.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, the way, as of right now, things can obviously change quickly in a year or 2 years, 3 years. As of right now, and I would think for the next 2 or 3 years, in any playoff game, the Eagles will have, whether it's home or away, they will have the best quarterback in that game. And
yes.
You will, if that's the case, no matter where you're playing, if you have the superior quarterback, also paired with a guy in Nick Sirianni, who I would think is the superior coach. Obviously, Kyle Shanahan's a great coach. There are other good coaches in the conference.
Right, yeah.
But if you have the best coach, if you have the best quarterback undoubtedly, and you have a really good coach to pair with that, whether you're home or away, that's fine.
You always got a chance.
They could win that, and then once you're in the neutral field in the Super Bowl, anything could fucking happen.
Just get in. That's all you want to do. Like I feel like that's what it all comes down to, right? I mean, we saw with the Phillies. Just get in. You get in, and anything can happen. Like good or bad, but you gotta get it. You gotta give yourself a chance. You gotta get in.
Yeah, the 2018 Eagles, they played like shit, but Foles came back in, did his Foles magic, and they're play away from going back to the NFC Championship.
Exactly.
And not to be a cuck, just they could have very easily won that game, and that showcases how if you just have a guy who can ball out, has the it factor at quarterback, that can carry you even if you're on the road a couple games. If your defense isn't as good this year, if you have banged up with injuries, all those things. If you have the quarterback position playing at an elite level, anything is possible come the postseason.
Just get in. Right.
2 quick things to finish up. Number 0, the Eagles put in a proposal to allow NFL players on each team to wear the number 0. That resolution was passed. Jeffrey Lurie said that it was flat out because they're running out of numbers. The Eagles have a good amount of retired numbers already. I will try to name them all off the top of my head. I'm going to do this now. I'll write it down.
Here we go.
Okay. So 5 for Donovan.
Right.
99 for Jerome.
Right.
20 for Doc. 60 for Bednarik.
Yep.
92 for Reggie. We have, I think.
Is Randall?
He's out of, so there are 4 numbers that are, I think maybe more now, that are technically out of circulation. So the Eagles are weird. Something must be with Randall in the organization. No Eagle has worn 12 since Randall.
Yeah.
No Eagle has worn 25 since LaShawn McCoy.
LaShawn McCoy, yeah.
No Eagle has worn number 9 since Nick Foles. I believe that'll get retired one day.
Yeah. Yeah.
No Eagle has worn 87 since Brent Selleck, which I think is hilarious, and I would just hand that out. Brent Selleck, really cool guy. I met him a year or 2 ago at Mitchell Ness, did a signing there. Got him to sign my Kelly Green Brent Selleck jersey. Great guy. I don't think he's a guy where you have to take his jersey number out of the rotation. They haven't handed out 79 cents for Brandon Brooks.
Yeah, Brandon Brooks.
And I would imagine in the next handful of years, 62, 55, 65, and 91 will all at minimum be taken out of the rotation. So they're running out of fucking numbers. They have 77, I believe, for Al Wister.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm missing anyone else. Let's look it up. Eagles retired numbers. 15, Steve Van Buren. Forgot that one.
CVB.
40 Tom Brookshire, and 44 Pete Retzlaff. I couldn't remember. I knew his was retired. I couldn't remember what number it is. Al Wistard is actually 70, not 77. So I give myself half credit on that one.
They are running out of numbers. Holy shit.
They are running out of numbers. And I think you're going to have to. I'd put Randall's number back out there.
Probably, yeah.
Electric player.
He wouldn't. I don't think Randall would care.
Also, there's something amiss that it's been out of circulation for almost 30 years and it's not retired. I don't get that. LaShawn, unbelievable running back. Not the biggest fan of him for some of the off the field stuff.
Off the field stuff.
Sure. Obviously, undeniably unbelievable player.
Yeah.
I don't know if given the era of Eagles football he played, I equate a lot of this to playoff success is important to me when you're doing stuff like this.
I would agree.
Reggie and Jerome are a different category. Even though the team wasn't that great, it's a little bit different with defensive players, I think.
100%,
but Sean, I'd give it back out. I would retire number 9 in an instant. I do believe it'll get retired once he's officially done playing football and officially retires. I believe 62 will be the first home game after Jason Kelce hangs up his cleats. Maybe the first primetime home game, Monday night, Sunday night game. That number will get retired.
Yep.
I would imagine 65. And I know 62 is a guarantee. I think 91. I think the team and the organization and Lori and Howie have a higher opinion of Fletch than the general fan base.
Yeah.
I think to the average fan, he is not in that BG Kelce tier in terms of the 3 guys that hold over from the Andy era.
Right.
I wouldn't necessarily retire Fletch's number, but I could see them doing that. Lane is a guy who I don't think he's necessarily going to get in or is considered this way just yet. He's a guy to me who has been the best offensive tackle in football for a handful of years, should be an easy Hall of Famer.
Hasn't let up a sack in 3 years.
Yeah, he's the guy's number I retire. But then again, you're running at numbers. Brandon Brooks, I've written at length about how much I love Brandon Brooks, how awesome he was, his advocation for mental health awareness. I don't think that's a guy's number you need to retire or keep out of circulation for too long. I think he still has a close relationship with the team. They're doing that. But again, you're running out of numbers.
Right.
So number 0 coming in, I think is smart. I know our boy Jason AAV is furious about it.
Furious, yes.
I think there's opportunity to have some fun. I know Philly Voices Jimmy Kensky suggested Kenny Gainwell for a number switch to 0. I would like that. I think Rashad Penny. He's not necessarily just a pure fast guy, but I think he would be a good guy to have that. I think if maybe Devontae Smith just came in the league, I would like him with 0, though I think 6 works really well with him. Maybe Bijan Robinson is wearing number 7. Maybe you never know who's going to get drafted and what they're going to do there. Like JNS from Ohio State's going to wear number 0 in the slot for them next year. So we'll see there. I think they even mentioned the possibility of throwing out 00 next year, which I think would be an addition they use to beef up the trenches. I shouldn't say, but offensive and defensive linemen can't wear number 0. But I think if you add in 00, that's a potential for that to be added.
I think
they're running out of numbers, though. And for a team that has won Super Bowl, they're running out of fucking numbers.
Big time, like quickly, too. I think whoever you give it to is to be a fast guy, right? Like 0 looks good on a fast guy. Like, look who wears it. I mean, look at Tyrese Maxey. He wears 0. He's a speed demon. It looks good on him. It's got to be a faster guy. Like if it's even a running back or a corner, maybe you draft, one of the Big Ten guys.
Witherspoon could wear number 0, I think.
Like if
Christian Gonzalez.
If Christian Gonzalez wants it, give it to him. Actually, give Christian Gonzalez wherever he wants. He's fine. If you want, Mr. Witherspoon from Illinois, if he wants it, I think that'll look good. Yeah, it's got to be a fast guy and a guy who's going to fly across the field because it's a fast number.
They wouldn't do it, but if there is some like a beast linebacker prospect that could be there at 10,
right?
That'd be pretty sick too.
Yeah,
because you imagine him like in training camp with the number 0, but the jersey tucked up and rolled underneath the shoulder pads. That's a really number 0 guy. Like, unfortunately, if Micah Parsons was an Eagle, he's a guy I think would rock number 0 really, really well.
He wants to be one, or at least
he wants to be an Eagle. Yeah, everyone wants to be an Eagle.
Everyone wants to be an Eagle, dude. Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Finish up Kelly Green coming back as an alternate. I am pro midnight green. I like having it. I
like
think
midnight green.
I think Kelly green is perfect as an alternate. It does not need to be the full-time uniform. The Eagles have, I think, midnight green is a lot more unique. The Eagles have had the greatest success in franchise history.
Yes.
While they've been wearing midnight green, it's synonymous with winning football for me, whereas Kelly green is not. I love the addition of a Kelly green uniform. I think there's they can keep it simple and it could work more like the 2010 team when they use those throwbacks. The Michael Vick game is what it's really known for. Yep. They could get a little bit more organy and fun, maybe some wings on the shoulder pads, stuff like that. Yeah. I think I am someone, they won't do this. I'm sure they'll have a Kelly green helmet. I am a fan of way back when the Kelly green jerseys with the white helmets with the green wings. I saw our buddy Jeff McDevitt today have an all-time bad take saying that the Eagles helmet should have, the Kelly green helmet should have the old school logo on the side with the eagle carrying the brown football, which again, I'm removed from Twitter because what's so great about the Eagles helmet is that winged style on the side is very unique, very different, and it's just synonymous with the birds for me. I love that. So I think you saw the picture the NFL posted of it. That's obvious. I think some like a casual person might just see that and think those are the official jerseys. They're not. I actually like the shine of the helmet. Differentiated from the jersey. I don't think it necessarily needs to be uniform to me. No. I would like to see silver pants instead of white pants. If they do that, I don't know if they're going to do that. My favorite Eagles look ever, if I'm just having some fun, is silver pants, white jersey, Kelly green helmet from the Randall era. I love that look. No Eagle has looked better than Randall in that uniform set.
He looks fast in it.
I think Jalen will look unbelievable in it.
Oh, my God.
That jersey is going to be so I think that Nike will be a lot more stocked than Fanatics, but we'll see. I will be, if I'm still on the case this fall, I will be on the case for that for sure, like I was with the Super Bowl. But it'll be nice, I think. I don't know. It'd be nice to have, if you're an Eagles fan, having one of those, the core four, having a Kelly green jersey from one of those, I think would be really nice. A BG Kelly green.
Dope. I think that
Jason Kelsey Kelly green. I would like one of those.
That would be dope. I'd like to have a BG Kelly green. Just to, to have one and say it for history. Like I don't know if I wear it to a tailgate necessarily, but like maybe one that you just kind of have to look at maybe for like special, really, really, really special times.
Yeah, if you're hosting a day 2 draft party, Friday night party, that's good for that.
Draft party, or like you're going up to New York, you want to talk some shit, where you're Brandon Graham, Kelly Green. But yeah, I think you got to get at least one of the core four and add to your collection.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. If JD pops off this year, the JD 99 would look really good.
That would look so good.
It would look
I might just get it in general because I think he's going to pop off a lot this year.
He needs to.
I was listening to just sports radio in general, and a lot of people feel like he's a guy who, once that high ankle hit, it kind of changed the trajectory of his season, because those are, for a guy that size, those take forever to come back from. So I'm sure that like he wasn't able to go to the speed he wanted to, and he was mostly working on mental reps. And again, when you're that size, a lot of your game is predicated around you being able to stay in shape. So I'm sure that hindered him a little bit. So I think he will pop off for sure. I'm really, really, really have high hopes for him. So that's my guy going into next year. I'm gonna have an extra set of eyes on him. I feel like he's the one he can change the trajectory of that whole defense, to be honest.
For all we know, in 7 or 8 years, we could be talking about a core four of Devontae Smith, Jordan Mailata, Jalen Hurts, and Jordan Davis.
What do we just? I mean, that's what we just say. Like it doesn't. That stuff happens really quickly. Like one core four gracefully bows out, and another core four slides in, and next thing you know, you're talking about that. Our kids are growing up with that core four.
The picture of Jalen with those four at the NFC Championship celebration on the field was really fucking sweet. Yeah, that was really cool, man.
Yeah, that'll get framed, or if it's not already framed in the facility, I'm sure it will get framed.
Yeah, that was really cool. And losing the Super Bowl is obviously fucking devastating for fans, but still making the Super Bowl is pretty sick at the same time.
It was dope. For sure.
Especially for a year. It'd be different this year if they lost in the Super Bowl, because the expectation is not just Super Bowl bust, it is Super Bowl,
yeah.
it is parade or bust. Whereas last
Right.
year, I think people would have just been happy if they won the division, and I think winning a playoff game was like the best case scenario, just a
100%,
thing
yeah.
going into that year, and
Yeah.
obviously things skyrocketed from there. But it'll be fun. Oh, man, wouldn't it have been sweet for the home opener, the Thursday night game? They break out the Kelly Greens on national TV.
Yeah.
They're hosting. I don't know who they're hosting. They usually save. I don't know, but whatever. We'll have some fun. The pod will be in good shape.
Yeah, we'll have fun regardless. We always do.
All right. To shout out, talk about it in the intro of our show. Kenwood Beer, our sponsor. We love Kenwood. It's getting nice out. Perfect beer weather. Tailgate a Phillies game. Enjoy some ice cold Kenwood. Additionally, we have our theme song by the Philadelphia area band, the Tisberries. Support the local art scene in Philadelphia. That's it from me, Shamus. Zo, my man, talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon, bro. Be good.